Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, the channel that's dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. Recently, I had a viewer write me asking how you can avoid gaining all of the weight back that you've lost on your OMAD journey once you've hit your weight loss goals. And so to sum it up, there's two things that you do. One is self-control, and the other is self-monitoring. Now, self-control, that's easy. You learn that when you practice OMAD for any length of time. It naturally teaches you self-control. And so when you've hit your goal weight range and you feel pretty happy and you want to step into the maintenance phase, some people choose to continue on with OMAD. Some people choose to go back to eating 3 meals a day. Again, it really, ultimately, the choice is yours. You're adults. You can do however you choose. But what you're going to find is that you've learned self-control from OMAD because you're not snacking. You're not eating when you're bored. You're not eating when you're stressed out. You're not eating to be social. You're eating your 1 meal a day. You're sitting down. You're having one drink. You're being thoughtful. And you're employing self-control with your eating and your meal times, and then you're walking away and you're done. And so that level of self-control is going to stay with you, whether once you've hit your range or once you've hit your goal. And whether you stay with OMAD or not afterwards is beside the point, because you're going to have that self-control. You're done with snacking. You're done with the mindless eating patterns that you had beforehand. And then the second part of it is self-monitoring. A lot of people, whether you're on OMAD or not, even if you're on some other diet plan out there, really think that all you have to do is put in 3 or 4 months of some hard work, some rough dieting, and some exercise. You hit your weight range, you hit your goal, and then you're done, and you can just go back to doing whatever you want to do for the rest of your life and not really checking in on how you're progressing and what's going on internally. And I'm sad to say this, folks, but it just doesn't work that way. You have to continue to monitor your health and be proactive. Now, I'm not saying you have to weigh yourself every single day. I don't even do that when I'm in a weight loss phase of OMAD. You can weigh yourself weekly and continue that if you want. My suggestion and recommendation would probably be, once you're in the maintenance phase, because you've hit your goal, would be to check in on your weight probably once every other week. I really wouldn't go much longer than that. If you're doing that, then there's no way you're going to be able to become obese again. See, it may feel like obesity or morbid obesity has kind of crept up on you, but really what it is that you just haven't paid attention to it and you haven't monitored it at all. You don't wake up one day and you're 100 pounds overweight. It just doesn't work that way. It's, these small choices that happen daily and day in, day out, and you're not monitoring. And then all of a sudden one day you go to put on those jeans you haven't worn in a long time, or you need to wear that suit or that dress for a special occasion, and you find out, oh my God, it doesn't fit anymore. That's why it seems so sudden. It's just that we kind of get into these routines. But if you're self-monitoring, if you're checking your weight every 2 weeks, you really can't get to a point where you ever get back out of your weight range unless you purposely allow yourself to. So that, folks, in a nutshell, is basically what the maintenance phase is. You employ those two tactics, self-control and self-monitoring, and you'll guarantee that you'll never get your weight back. I mean, you're going to have some fluctuations. That's natural. A few pounds here or there is nothing to worry about. That's why I don't ever recommend weighing every single day, because your mind is gonna go nuts over it. Once a week is fine, and then when you're in maintenance phase, once every other week is totally fine. But I probably wouldn't, if I were in a maintenance phase, I wouldn't weigh myself like once a month, because you could have a pretty destructive month and put on a pretty good amount of weight, more than you would naturally intend. But I think you understand my point here. I know that I'm never going to become obese as some of the pictures that I've shown you from my before pictures on this channel, because I have the self-control, and I have the monitoring in place of my progress. I know what my healthy weight range is, and when I'm at the upper echelon of it, when I'm at the upper, barrier of that, I've monitored that, and I know that, okay, it's time to cut back a little, and by cutting back, that for me, that means that I'm going to go to the OMAD variation. I'm going to have my one meal a day, and I'm not going to be splurging at all. I'm going to have my one meal a day on one plate. I'm going to be mindful of the sweets and desserts. I probably would only have them maybe once, twice a week at the most. Little things like that, so that I'm still eating the foods I like. I'm still enjoying things, but I'm being smart about it, and I'm doing the cutting portion. And now my weight is starting to go down again. I get back to the lower part of my weight range. I'm still healthy. And then I can. It's a back and forth game, but you're never. It's a journey that you never arrive at. You're just always on the journey. And when you're in a traditional diet, people realize this, and that's why they leave dieting and they end up gaining all of the weight back and then some, because they have a heart-to-heart with themselves, and they realize that, geez, I really don't feel like giving up meat for the rest of my life, or giving up gluten, or giving up sugar and sweets completely. So they discover that it's really not worth it going on an ultra-restrictive diet like that for any length of time. But that's the beauty of OMAD, is that you don't have to necessarily be on that ultra-restrictive diet unless you so choose to. I don't recommend it at all. I eat the foods that I enjoy, and I've lost the weight that I needed to lose, and it stays off because of self-control and self-monitoring. So that, folks, is the maintenance phase in a nutshell. I hope this video is helpful for you today, and I hope it gives you some hope. Some of you have hit your goals. You email me, and I love hearing that. And some of you are very, very close, and you guys are working very hard. Believe me, I feel it every single day, and I love the questions and comments that I get. So please keep them coming in. But that's going to be it for me for today. Have a great week. Have a very happy OMAD. Be well.